Hi, I'm Greg Olson. The EPA is now requiring anyone who is compensated for significant renovation, repair, or painting work on a pre-1978 house to obtain a renovation, repair, and painting, or commonly called an RRP certificate. When this lead safety law became effective on April 22, 2010, the popular misconception was that it applied only to contractors. But in reality, it applies to contractors, subcontractors, painters, and yes, even residential property managers. In fact, the EPA specifically notes that this regulation applies to residential property managers. While the EPA has exempted homeowners who make their own repairs from this requirement, the EPA specifically states that RRP applies to renters who repair, renovate, or paint the property and then deduct that related expense from their rent. The key phrase in the regulation is anyone who is compensated either directly or indirectly. At Kaplan, several students have been asking, what should residential property managers do? First, take it seriously. The fines are very significant. The EPA can fine violators up to $37,500 per incident per day and has already started levying fines to property managers. Second, determine the best course of action for your business. Do you or any of your employees do any renovation work on your property? For some property managers, it makes sense to outsource all of this work to a contractor who is RRP certified. For other property managers, taking an RRP certification course for a couple $100 will allow them to save thousands of dollars in renovation expenses. Finally, whichever course of action you take, make sure you understand RRP enough to know whether you are in compliance, particularly the associated paperwork. Several firms have been fined for either not providing a new tenant with the Renovate Right brochure or for not keeping a receipt from the renter to prove that the renter was given this brochure. This is the first step in RRP required record keeping. Fines in excess of $20,000 have been levied for this simple omission. RRP certification, or at least an understanding of RRP process and paperwork, will allow property managers to avoid unnecessary expenses and costly fines.